Hello everybody, Zachary Fruhling, aka Cozy Azeroth here. I am working my way through the book 101 Programming Tips and Tricks for the Texas Instruments TI-99 4A home computer. I am up to program number 49, actually listing number 49, since this listing actually has two programs, so we're going to do them one at a time so we can see the difference between the two in terms of how the TI-99 4A handles logic functions. We're going to read the program descriptions, type them in, and see what we can learn from the programs and see what we can make them do. Alright, number 49, logic functions. You can make your computer do things based on its decision that something exists. That is, in the first program listing here, it will only print the value of C if it finds that B has an existing value. If B is found to have no value, does not exist, C will not be printed. The decision is in line 40. The machine only prints C if B does not equal 0. Since in line 20 we set B equal to 10, the computer will find that something exists in B, and thus go ahead and do the work assigned in the last half of line 40. If nothing had been stored in B, the last half of line 40 would have been ignored. Okay, let's go ahead and type this short program in, and we'll give it a spin. Then we'll do the other program in contrast. Let's get into TI Basic and the Classic 99 emulator. 10, call clear. 20, B equals 10. That's the key line that says B, something exists in B. 30, C equals 10 times B. 40, if B, then 100. In other words, if B says something true, you'll see the contrast between this program and the next program in which one of the variables contains an expression that is false. So that doesn't exist, in other words. Kind of a weird way of talking around it. Okay, 50 end. And 100 print C. Okay, let's just check our syntax here. Okay, run. One moment here, I have to double check something. Yep, there we go. Run. Okay, so B equals 10, C equals 10 times B. If B exists, then go to line 100. So we print line C, that's why we ended up with 100 when we ran the program. Boom, like so. And if B hadn't existed, then we would have just ended the program immediately. Okay, let's check out the next program in contrast. In the second program here, the computer only displays the results of the tests in lines 40 and 50 if the results of one or both is true, quote true. By doing the simple math in your head, you can see that the information in the right-hand side of line 20 is true. The information in the right-hand side of line 30 is false. Line 20 says that 6 plus 8 is greater than 3 times 4. That is, 14 is greater than 12. That is true. Line 30 says that 5 plus 2 is greater than 9 plus 2. That is, 7 is greater than 11. That is false. After reading line 20, the computer will store a 1 in B since the statement is true. Upon reading line 30, the computer will store a 0 in C since the statement is false. As action drops to line 40, the computer will find that the 1 it is stored in B and thus complete the action called for at the right-hand end of line 40. It will display the message B OK. At line 50, however, the computer will find, quote, nothing or 0 in C and will not complete the right-hand end of that instruction. It will only do the right-hand end if it finds something in the left-hand end. These logic functions are great for quick tests. So the TI-99 4A doesn't have a separate Boolean variable type. Just has numeric variables and string variables, but it does treat 0 and 1 kind of like a Boolean variable. Okay, so let's go ahead and type this new program in. So let's get a new instance of TI Basic going. 10 call clear. 20 B equals, a little bit of math here, 6 plus 8. 6 plus 8 is greater than 3 times 4. 30. C equals 5 plus 2 is greater than 9 plus 2. So before we type in the rest of the program, take a look at the difference between these two lines. Line 20 contains a true expression, b equals something that's true. 6 plus 8, which is 14, is greater than 3 times 4, which is 12. So 14 is greater than 12. So b is true. 30, c equals 5 plus 2, which is 7, is greater than 9 plus 2, which is 11. So that expression is false, and 7 is not greater than 11. So b will be assigned the value of 1, and C will be assigned the value of 0, which is false. That's how the TI-99 4A treats booleans. Okay, 40, if B, then 100. In other words, if B contains something true, if B equals 1. 50, if C, then 200. 60, end. 100, print B OK. 110, go 250. 200, print C OK. And 210, end. Okay, so in this case, B should be okay, but C will not be okay, and so we should end up with B okay, but not C okay. Funky little program. Let's run the program, see what we get. B okay, done. Oops, call clear, list the program. And so we could actually mix these up, if we wanted to. Like, let me get a screenshot of this program real quick. There we go. If we wanted to check how this works, we could reverse these. We could do 20 B equals, let's reverse them, 5 plus 2 is greater than 9 plus 2. And then 30, C equals, let's do the other expression, 6 plus 8 is greater than 3 times 4. Oops, wrong symbol there, sorry about that. Greater than 3 times 4. So now, B will contain something false, and C will contain something true. So let's list out the new program. And if we run it, we should get C okay, but not B okay. There we go. And we get C okay, because now C contains something true expression, but B contains a false expression. Alright, so that's a quick example of how the TI-99 4A handles logic functions in the absence of separate Boolean operator types. If you are watching this after the fact on YouTube, be sure to check out the rest of my YouTube channel. You can find it under Cozy Azeroth, my Twitch handle, or under my real name, Zachary Fruling, for lots more TI-99 4A related content, retro programming, retro gaming, miscellaneous educational content on various topics of interest to me, both professionally and personally, and lots of World of Warcraft live streaming these days. And check out my Twitch channel under Cozy Azeroth for all the above as well, if you want to watch and or participate during the live streams while I record these videos, with a lot more yet to come. And in any case, I appreciate likes and follows and especially subscriptions, which help me out greatly in these challenging times. Thank you very much, and I'll be back soon with the next program in 101 programming tips and tricks for the Texas Instruments TI-99 4A home computer. And the next program in the list is above and below a line. And I haven't looked at what that is yet. I don't remember from when I was a kid. So catch the next video on above and below a line, whatever that means. I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.